today's video, I am going to challenge you that I think most business owners leave so much money on the table with leads that are coming in, it is just sickening. And I'm going to go through why I think this and how you can very easily solve it in today's short, snappy video. Hello, it's Emma Mills here and welcome to this week's episode of My TV. I help business owners to get out of their own way so they can win the week, leverage their time and focus on the fun stuff, the things they love in their business. And to be able to do that, one of the things you must do is maximize all leads that come through your business. And today I just want to challenge you, like, are you maximizing them and making the most of them? Because a little story that I'm going to tell you, I do love a story, might be quite surprising to some of you on how you treat the follow-up in your business. So we have a client who fits luxury kitchens and bathrooms, and their average sales, so their average customer spends around about £20,000 with them. And for anybody here watching this goes, well, some of my products are 1,000, some of them are 10, some are 50. There's always an average, like you always work with an average in the business. So this particular client, their average customer spend is £15,000. And they were doing a mixture of marketing activities, of Facebook ads, and these leads were cooler because they weren't necessarily for people that were going to do a kitchen right now. They were just downloading a brochure. And then they had other leads coming in that were much hotter, and people that were ready to balk, or like they were going to buy a kitchen sooner rather than later. Anyhow, we were tasked with following up on all of the Facebook ad leads. So these people were just kind of like, they were more of perusers, browsers. They were downloading an info pack or a brochure. They were putting their hand up and going, at some point I want to buy a lovely kitchen, but we didn't know when that was, and that could have been now, it could have been much further down the line, they could have been building a house. So we follow up these leads, and one of the rules that we live and breathe here at My PA is we don't just like ring somebody 3 times and go, oh, the lead's dead, or we have a reputation for following up forever until you say no. I guess the cruder term is until they buy or until they die, but literally until you go, no, don't call me anymore, we're going to keep calling you. And we've been advised otherwise by marketing consultants, people that we work with, to say, well, why do you waste your time on them? We waste our time because we know that these leads that come through that have said, yeah, I'm really interested, whilst things might happen and they're not ready at that point or a bit further down the line. We've had clients who 12 months later have been ready and then bought because we followed up 2 years later, 3 years later. And it just really struck me with this kitchen showroom business because they had leads which some people might say, oh, these are crap, like this is just Facebook ads, and they're just kind of going, yeah, I'm having a look, these kitchens look nice. And a lot of people I know would spend money on the Facebook ads and obviously their own time and effort creating them, and then they would ring them and just write them off as poor leads. However, I was sat next to our follow-up team a couple of weeks ago, and they were celebrating because they booked a lead into the showroom, and we know from our client that their £15,000 average spend, they have a conversion rate once they get them into the showroom of 50%. So that's pretty high. It's like 1 in 2 are going to spend £15,000. So if we can get them into the showroom, this is like big step forward. And they were celebrating because they had booked somebody into a showroom visit after the 10th time of calling them. Now, on a lot of those calls, they'd never answered the phone. We'd left voicemails, we'd sent them a text or WhatsApp. On some of those calls, it said, oh, actually, sorry, I'm not busy, I'm not free right now. Can you ring me next week or at a time that suits? But on the 10th phone call we made, which if we weren't making it, this business didn't have the time or resource to be doing that, to be working the leads as much as we were, they wouldn't have had that showroom booking. And I thought, oh, it's just a really important My TV because so many people, and okay, there's probably some exceptions out there whereby if you get a lead in and you know that they've not bought straight away, it's not happening. There are probably some out there, I get that. But for me, for the majority of businesses, the calling of leads that come into your business should be rhythmic and ongoing until that person unsubscribes, asks to not be contacted anymore, says they've bought elsewhere, which all of this is really good information you should collect anyway, or they're not going ahead, or for whatever reason they haven't purchased. Until you get that tangible bit of information, I challenge that you should be following up And this is not like all of the time every single day. We didn't call them every day. We called them 3 times on the first day that they downloaded. We then did that 3 times across the week. We then moved that to weekly and monthly. But by the 10th call came around, we booked them in for that showroom appointment. And now our client has the opportunity to wow this person from their hard-earned work of getting them as a lead, us following them up and us getting them in the showroom. And so I just want you to think about today, are you leaving money on the table because you think that somebody hasn't said, yes, I'm ready to buy after the 3rd phone call, the 3rd follow-up, that you go in, actually, I'm carving them off into a list. If you have got a list in any way, shape or form where some leads have like just stopped being called because they're not the low-hanging fruit to you, I urge you to reactivate them. Just as another short story, last week alone, we have a list of leads where they just never answer the phone, and we still ring them every month. We call them the gone dark list, like we were just not getting anything from them. And last month, Helena in our team called the gone dark leads, spoke to somebody on there who had been really active with like, I need help 12 months ago, gone dark. We called them, as we have been doing every month, and they booked on to PA support and call answering. And that is just because we continue to phone. If you don't have the resource at the time and need help, my follow-up service can do that, and the link and the details will be below. But for the love of God, whoever does it, give your leads the attention they need. I hope this week's episode has reinvigorated you to go, I've got people sat in the depths of my CRM that need phoning, and we can either help you with that or get your team to do it. And I'll see you next week for another episode of My TV. See you then. Bye-bye.